I'm telling you, Mercury retrograde and the North Node in Gemini. Jeez, man. Us YouTubers, hats off to you guys, honestly. Last 2 years, honestly, it has not been fun. It has not been fun. We're almost to that transit. However, we are having the North Node next year in Taurus. So again, it's very much connected to the intranet. If you have had technology issues lately, it's because of Mercury. It's also because of Uranus retrograde in Taurus. It can be electricity. Really good time to make sure your smoke alarms are, all connected, guys. Really important to be aware of your surroundings. Your surroundings can be deeply important, and self-awareness. I'm friends with Deb Does Readings on Facebook, and she put a post up, and it was to do with some, interesting things happening. And you do need to be really aware of your surroundings. I probably, as much as Venus can be the things that we do at a social level, because we have Mercury retrograde in Libra and we have Mars in Libra, there can be conflict. Libras have the innate energy to understand and balance. But it doesn't mean to say every one of us actually has the energy occurring in the same house. But for the collective consciousness, there can be very iffy times with mood swings, agitation, anger, danger, so you do need to be aware of your social activities. For me, I choose not to go into a public arena to socialize. And I don't mean I don't go out. I do go out. But at this point, because we are in the retrograde phase of Mercury, Libra are the thing, and it's funny because over here we're having issues to do with frustration coming up in Australia. But the thing is, it is for your own benefit. Mars is there. Mars is in the house of Libra. It's like social gatherings on a large scale. They can get heated, cross wires. So just be careful. Is the chat and the feed working? Because I'm telling you, stream health at the moment during Mercury retrograde, it's not so fine. Another thing that my guides were showing me for the twin flame connection, I was drawn to the energy of Venus, and even Giggle and I this morning, we were talking about Venus and also the morning star. Now, the crazy thing was I've been seeing love hearts everywhere. I've been seeing, everything to do with stars and the star card in tarot. And usually, and it's funny because, in tarot, in mythology, in religion, it's all connected to, Venus, the star. And it even links all the way back to Australia, ironically enough, where the morning star, there's a ceremony that they actually hold. It's quite a scarred ceremony. And with the morning star, it's got the yin and yang. So you get the evening star and the morning star, and it shows its light face and it shows its dark face. So it's like Venus and Lilith, and that's really what we're looking at when we're dealing between Mars and Libra. Okay, so we've got Aries, the shadow sign of Libra, and we've got Libra. So we could be looking at our spiritual connection at the moment. Yes, through the darkness comes light, but it's also really showing us these critical situations. And, we're not paying attention to the signs. This gem came up in reverse. I'll give you the name of it so you know. And it's funny because it's blue. So the anger is coming through the silence, but the anger is coming through a situation playing out. I receive messages all the time and follow my internal guidance system. And I think these are old things and old patterns that are coming up for the Twin Flame Collective. But it's this, some of us can be more so staying to our side of the fence, maybe being in the awareness and really balancing that Mars kind of Venus energy. But others not necessarily may do. I kind of get the feeling with the communication, communication in body language, ironically enough, although Mercury navigates our communication, our day-to-day routine, our thought processes, it's in reverse. So yes, we know at the moment we might not be seeing things as clear, but during the retrograde, things that are hidden, the morning star, the evening star, come to the forefront. and it shows you that of what is hidden. So the communication is going to be attitudes, demeanors, it could be text messages, it might be body language, but it's going into the analogy that this communication can be a reaction. Okay? Can be a reaction. Let's get the cards. The other thing I've been seeing is that, yes, there is heart and forgiveness and clearing, but I also see a lot actually creating healthy boundaries and, you know, really having a realization of what they're needing. And I think through the separation stage, you do tend to find that, you know, you're really getting to know yourself a lot more than, you know, had you been directly next to that individual. And it's not to say that that's not what you're wanting. It's saying during that quiet time, you have these massive revelations about what your needs were. Very similar to the 7 stages of healing. Through the spiritual connection, you're looking at your needs, and sometimes it doesn't directly correlate with, hey, well, that's not what's exactly happening right now. So in that separation stage, you're actually alchemizing and coming home to self to accept that of what you need. Let's see what's coming through in the cards. I do feel during this time there could be conflict, especially in karmic relationships. I'm also feeling there is a mirroring going on so very heavily at the moment between divine masculine and feminine. Now, an old wound that was there that you made peace with may have come up in a synchronistic way. Synchronistic way, I think that's the way I can say it. And it reactivated it, it reopened it. So this might have been an old memory, it might have been an old attitude, but it's like you would really move beyond it. And it might have been a statement that they make. Something has happened to either show you a pattern. It's either showed you a pattern or it showed you something that they embodied and now you're embodying. But it's a swapping of the energy. So feminines at the moment, I do feel you guys are coming through very similar to the zodiac Libra, which Libra is a masculine sign. It's mutable. It's kind of masculine and feminine. So again, with the morning star, it's yin yang, which is Venus. We currently have Juno in Capricorn, which is where Venus is going to be retrograde at the end of the year. Uranus and Taurus is retrograde as well, very Venus in orientation. So we're really looking at the divine feminine in its masculine attributes. So where you do have control is your healthy boundaries. Where people overstep the mark, your inner power is how you relate to that situation by not giving your power away. So I'm seeing that as the theme, and it can be that we're actually coming through a little bit like Black Moon Lilith, but not in a negative way, more so in a, you know, your silence or your demeanor or your reaction to situations. You're facing a shadow, and it's that, you know, not one of us is perfect, but we have light and dark. And that's how we actually clear our energy. It's how we get to know ourselves. It's the relevancy of us knowing our potentiality. So I feel for the empath groups, because I don't really like to use tags, especially where I'm at in my journey. I use it more in layman's terms so you can look at the yin and yang, because we have both inside us. And in the twin flame path, if you do stumble across a reader and they're saying, okay, this is you in your masculine attribute, this is you in your feminine. It is healthy to do such because the energy is joint. And when we're crossing energies, it's so we can come into wholeness. So don't think that it's not, you know, the reason they're doing it is because they're being spiritual. It's part of the process. It needs to be looked at so you can get into yin and yang. Okay, so the shadow side is, you know, some of you might have been feeling as though that power was taken from you. And I think in the shadow phase, it's actually showing you the power. And it's funny because I'm looking at the star card on the table, and we did talk about the star. In order to get the star, a tower needs to come. You know, it occurs. That can be something by our own doing. It might be us actually pulling something down because it's physically not working. So you get the tower and you get the star. Scorpio also is in the house of Venus, which is the underrealm. That of what is hidden is going to be shown to you. I'm seeing that it's almost like the universe has this beautiful way of moving the astrology and moving us spiritually to activate these circumstances to come through. And spiritually speaking, sometimes when these tower moments are happening, or there's a shift in the collective, we kind of get this vibe that it's happening to us, but it's actually happening for us. It's very divinely guided. So this circumstance that is coming up, this Mars polarity that is coming up, it's saying that the light workers are ready. It's saying that the energy of, your ascension and the work you've done on you, if you're being pushed in a certain way, trust the process, but also know that you're actually ready. And I think this is a very important message for both parties, really, for both masculine and feminine. But it's also saying that of what was planted is coming to the forefront, and it is ripe. And I do feel it's almost this vibration that, you're really pushing through. Some of you might be getting to a point that's creating a lot of fear. So the fear can be attachment of, okay, if I'm moving forward, does that mean I'm leaving without the soldier? And when we have that notion, I'm really looking up to the top of the cards because I have got the romance read that I've pulled very separately for Libra, which is the next video privately I'm doing to launch for October. And, the hero card really is in reverse. The soldier is in reverse, and that's your fear. That's really your fear, is that you're leaving someone behind. And it's also us maybe thinking that a new beginning means that by moving forward, that means it's not going to be union. And that's actually not true. The attachment is what prevents it, not the 3D notion, the monkey mind of what we're seeing. Some of the themes that are coming up are being cleared at the minute. And it's funny because these, this is the card of loss of contract, loss of, imbalance. This is also feeling that a judgment hasn't gone in our favor, the anger, the frustration that something isn't going in our favor, but that of what was lost. It's looking at more of the story not being the way it was supposed to be, and then let go, because it's more values, okay? It's more value systems than anything. It's not lost. It's physically looking at the wound, but also getting to a space that you don't embody that moving forward. There can be emotions relating to third-party energies. I'm feeling as though the reason this is coming up in Divine Feminine's aura is because the Divine Masculines are going through a portal at the minute of their resurrection, their rebirth. And they know that this is the star. So through your demeanor and your healthy boundaries and acceptance of the given situation, I'm seeing that this is pushing this person further into their ascension of owning their personal power, but also not enabling. And, many of you have come so far that you're really giving them the direct freedom to do that of what they need to do. The monkey mind may come up where you're feeling the empath energy towards them. And it's not that we don't have the empath energy. It's more that if it's coming up and we're going into enabling, it's going to cause problems. Enabling is a temporary resort. Enabling is I empathetically understand. And it's not that you don't understand. It's not that we don't have an understanding towards people. But sometimes by slight ways, where our intuition guided us to react in certain ways, it prevented a person from maybe assessing where they were in their life, and it delayed the inevitable of what the tower was going to be, because we had empathy for that situation. And, enabling can come down to so many things, guys. It could be something as simple as, they're with a karmic and they're saying they're going to leave, but they haven't done that yet. And you're like, it's not that you're believing, you're having empathy and understanding, but then with your aura of the sacral chakra, if it's kind of locked in during that time, it creates stagnancy. So it's not that there's a choice or it's a competition. It's closing one cycle in order to have another. I feel at the moment the masculines are really wanting to have this new beginning, but they're also realizing it's a bit like, okay, I'm going to build a house. And they're like, I'm going to build a house. I'm going to build a house. And then at some point they realize, well, I've been saying that for a very long time. And if I actually want that house, I need to have light in believing I can achieve it. B, could there be at a 3D level that they believe they've got to do X, Y, and Z? Because there are different ways we can manifest. You could theoretically say, I'm going to have a house, and then it directly happens. Now, I feel they're in between that 50-50 at the moment, and I'm meaning you, Divine Feminine. Their truth, how they feel towards their own personal life. Many times we can feel that we directly are the block, but when a person is energetically, and I'm going to pull some chakra cards, when they're energetically feeling guilt, shame, lineage has come up quite a bit. For the masculines, we had the full moon in Pisces. Now, the full moon in Pisces is the 12th house. It's very much linked within the astrology for them. It is their it's their healing, it's their psychology, it's, you know, the psychology between what is hidden and why they do things. They needed to have a moment or a direct 3D experience, which was activating it for them so that they could look at how this was affecting them. So these unhealthy boundaries, these foundations that were built on sand, not rock, are slipping away, and they're feeling such, but they're also assessing that and realizing. And I think sometimes with attachment, we tend to feel we go into control, because we tend to feel that if we don't have a surety, then why would we invest in it? A little bit like a negotiation. The problem is, you know, it's a little bit like, I was telling my daughter the other day, psychologist, there was an article I listened to years ago, and it said that we have these personality traits, these belief systems, these conditionings. And, you know, a biscuit was given to a student, and the student was told, and this was a young student, obviously, if you do not eat that biscuit, by the end of the day, I will give you 10. And that instant gratification polarity was so slim on the percentage of the individuals who chose not to eat their biscuit and to receive that golden outcome at the end and get so much more. And that's a personal investment. It's also patience, tolerance, endurance. You tend to have the stamina, and those individuals tend to be the most successful, is because you don't need that instant gratification. You want the full biscuit, okay? You want the full box of biscuits, and one won't be enough. You want the whole deal, and you're willing to wait patiently. I feel when we're healing, we can tend to shortchange ourselves and go, and this is where I feel the divine masculine had moved into a circumstance, because an element of the healing through the awakening, when your chakras are opening up, you're purging, okay? You're going through it, you're growing, you're outgrowing certain things. That's the fives. 2021 is a 5. If it gets too heavy and that individual can't handle it, it closes back down again. And that's why sometimes when we go through the dark night of the soul, we can be tapping back into it again, it comes back up, and we're thinking, hey, you know, why has this come back? It's because your auric body, if it can't handle it, it'll shut down for you to recoup in order for that to flow further. I feel at a point, divine masculine went into this connection due to such, and it was an element of healing, but I do feel they're waking up and they're finding this now isn't a healing location. This is becoming a point of no return where it's changing. Now, if these two individuals are completely matching, and I don't know why I'm being guided to mention masculine and feminine. Many times we feel, and I do feel, masculines and feminines mirroring each other, but you're also visiting the other side of the coin. Let's pull a gem for feminine, because I'm being shown that there is a yin to the yang, and there is a belief system at the moment in the psyche of divine feminine. Okay, divine masculine. It's funny, I've just read it, and it is, yes, saying that. Are we still there, or is the chat dead? I hope the chat's not dead. Divine masculine, please. Interesting. Okay, so for divine feminine, I did say that it was mirroring. I am mentally and my mental and emotional body are balanced, and it's pink. I attract nurturing people. So there's something in your vibration relating to Venus, pink, and I'm noticing the black on the stone, which is psychic protection. Release heartache, grief, and sorrow of past relationships. Encourage lightheartedness and joy. Restore the balance of confidence and emotion. So in your body, although we're saying we've healed, there's some seed that was planted. There's some mirroring in a sense that sometimes we say we're ready, but is it conditional? Because you do have control. You do, okay? But it's a different style of control that we understand. The masculines, I am confident, courageous, and I remember using this on my divine masculine. I gave it to him because he needed to heal, right? So he, toxicity, when you're dealing from toxicity or anything that is spiritually taxing, citrine's really good to clear that. It also does protect you psychically. So, you know, a lot of us, you know, in the collective of the twin flame path, we talk about Neptune, black magic, things to that degree, dark energy, third eye energy. Taurus, expand self-confidence and awareness, which orange is the sacral chakra. It's the joint energy, but it's the person's personal power. And when it ascends up and that person is in their highest vibration, their Mars energy, they're able to tackle circumstances. If it's overactive, it can be problematic. And if it's underactive, it can be problematic. Expanding self-confidence and awareness and personal manifestation, increasing mental clarity, exuding joy, enthusiasm, and happiness. Shine your light. Now, when a person has had a lot of individuals in their life take their power away, again, it will go back to lineage. It'll go back to the childhood, right? So, and we can go from one extremity to another. And I have actually really been observing a lot of masculine energies in my life, and they don't have to be male, masculine energies in my life. And I have noticed at the moment they are facing their shadow relating to a father energy. But due to such, it's embodying and it's coming through relating to another person. So that shadow phase is being addressed at the moment. Now, why it's putting them in, it's sort of like they get picked up, they get put in a 3D circumstance so that they can see the mirror, so they can go, wow, I've outgrown that. Why am I doing that? I feel this is them actually taking their power back. So they have had toxic energies in their life. There has been circumstances where maybe it's their health, their aura, it's got low, the power was given away, it felt unmotivated. It might have been psychic attacks directly on this person. This could have been from third-party energies. But again, you know, the thing is, not all third-party energies are terrible people. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Some are. The other thing is, a lot of people don't know how the evil eye works. And the evil eye can merely be a person really thinking on you at a regular interval in a very toxic fashion, and boo, it's there. Now, the stronger you get through your ascension, it won't affect this person. And this is where divine masculine's at. And this is the good thing, because why the 12th house is clearing it. The 12th house is like, okay, I'm looking at my conditioning now. Yes, they can become dehydrated, but through the energy of maybe, again, sacral chakra can be anger. It's very Mars in nature. It's coming up through the crown chakra. If you've been picking up on smells lately, and it's interesting because Giggle and I were talking about that the other day, it's they're purging it through their aura. You actually smell, you could pick up on it through your sixth sense. That toxicity of some description, that attachment of some description is getting purged out of that person. Okay, so this is, there you go, release. This is a release. But both parties here, both masculines and feminines. Feminines are clearing their heart chakra, but there could be anger coming up relating to it. You might not feel protected. You may be thinking on the yin to the yang that you don't have power, and yes, you do. You know, any choice we make is our personal power. We don't need to give it to the other person to make decisions. We do have it within ourselves. We can come from the place of heart and look at it and assess it. And, you know, Mars and Libra can create a little bit of stagnancy, but it's only through our viewpoint. And sometimes it can make us a bit left, right, left, right. It's like, just be very present. If you need to deal with something, deal with it. But you can clear both the heart chakra and the sacral chakra, I would say. Keep your fluid up. Definitely keep your fluid up. If you feel an energy on you, breathe in, blow it out like it doesn't exist. And that can detach that attachment to you. And the stronger you get on your twin flame path, because you are developing your psychic mediumship, it will get to a point that you won't require, you will become the scarred protection, okay? Oof. Okay, there's something going down. I'm going to pull some cards for the masculine. I'm seeing something's going down on the masculine side of the fence, and this could be to do with values. I do feel there could be a bit of a conflict. This could be legality. It could be a conflict. It's financial. And I do feel it's to do with the separation. I do feel it's also to do with values not matching. But there is it almost feels they're having to go back and deal with the Venus attribute of things to really go over it and see it. But they're going to have brute force and clarity of mind. I do feel this is where they're actually, yes, I'll be perfectly honest, it can cause fights. But it is a brand new cycle. It's a karmic cycle being revisited during Mercury retrograde. It could look a little bit ugly initially. You, as a divine feminine, may feel this. But as we move towards October, we're going to be having that new moon in Libra. And this is where between now and then, it's the justice coming back to you. And I notice judgment at the moment, it's off. Because we may want to really, look at the water. There's crocodiles in it. It's like I want to walk on the pebbles. Which one's safe? I'm seeing that there is going to be a judgment. It's going to be sometimes I'm hearing the term, and I don't know why I'm hearing this, but I'll relay the message. Sometimes having to be cruel to be kind, and then you're not enabling, but I feel this is on divine masculine side. With the circumstance that they're dealing with, they're being very rational. But again, there might have been some disputes relating to finances. They understood both sides. If they have been unable to do such, I feel a separate individual coming in. I have in your house. Yeah. It's in so many cultures, though. That's the crazy thing. It's so, I think tradition and history and lineage, it goes through so many various traditions. And it's thought, even the Egyptians talk about it through the awakening. The awakening is the third eye. And when we have too much ego in the third eye, we don't see things clearly because we have too much attachment. Like, the love as per se, we say it's, like I said, jealousy, envy, and it goes towards you. But then you will know when it's coming because you will feel that vibration and you will become the eye. Okay, whatever this balancing is, I kind of feel, it was through empathy and understanding and compassion that this has caused this huge delay. And I feel it's almost like that of what you did with divine masculine. This is what they're then doing to another individual, empathizing, understanding, being super lenient, maybe being a doormat, and it's old, but it's through their conditioning. I feel this has cleared it and it's really pushing it out. The reason it's pushing it out is because we have Aries and Chiron retrograde, which is the wounded healer. So I would really say probably all the way back from June, July, this has really been amping up hardcore. And it's coming to a space that it's forcing this healing and clearing so that we're being very purposeful and relevant about where we're at. I don't feel divine masculine is really in a space that they are seeing the falsity in this. I feel they were trying to do this to be fair to all individuals, but I feel as though it's coming to a head. Okay, let's pull a different set of cards for the third party. I had to come early today because it's my daughter's graduation and she likes dropping things on me. She's Aquarius. She likes dropping things on me at the last minute. So I have to be there today for her last day. Karmic individual. So I was like, thanks, Stole. Appreciate it. Last minute notice. Not like Libra, you know. We try to be punctual. Okay, this almost was supposed to end a lot longer, okay? This was supposed to be ending a lot longer, and I think at the moment the karmic has been undecided. 1 minute hot, 1 minute cold, setbacks, maybe trying to correct it, trying to get to a space that they are, you know, sorting the connection out, getting it back on track. I'm going to pull one for the ones that want to not be there, okay? And one's for the one that are trying to manipulate. Well, they don't want to show their cards. What are they wanting? And others. Okay. Those that know, it's more to do with that they were the ones that were wanting to let it go. They're as frustrated as divine masculine. This could be tie-ups, this could be loose ends, trying to move through those things. And what it's actually effectively doing is helping those two parties heal so that that chapter completely and very neat, like a Christmas bow, is tied up and mailed off. Done. Okay? Neat and tidy. It's a clean cut, but the frustration is it should have come to a head by this stage. The beautiful thing is something that was missed either at a healing level or a paperwork level is going to come through during Mercury retrograde in Libra. And I do feel it's the last energy of clearing for them spiritually for that to be tied up. But we'll get into the bottom energy as well. Now, the others that we're trying to manipulate the situation, they actually, it's because of lack. It's because of loss. It might be again due to finances, but they're confused. They're like, why hasn't this worked? It's worked before, so why isn't this working right now? The other pocket of them, I feel it's almost this jealousy coming up, which does make sense. And I do feel they know that divine masculine maybe isn't spiritually as present, knowing that, you know, they are really delaying the inevitable within the connection between them. And I feel it's almost like they're looking at it, they're seeing divine masculine down, they're seeing divine masculine maybe not socializing as much. So it's like two parties are residing in the same home, but, you know, the energy and the connection died maybe 3 years ago, but they're living in the same abode. And I kind of get the feeling that the karmic is getting activated in really viewing this and realizing it's over. But it's funny. It's almost like the karmic is feeling almost like it's futile, almost like suddenly this person is a long-lost friend who looks like they're kind of, you know, spiritually deteriorating inside. And I feel it's really affecting them. I think they're having this revelation that it's just not, it's gone too far. I do feel this element of empathy coming through, that that's not what they wanted to see. But they had to see it to allow this to end its cycle. Now, these breakthroughs, the conflict and the competition is what the karmics are in awareness of. And I don't mean competition in a sense that one is better than the other. It's that where a person is where a person is. Where they walked is where they walked. And it's having that as a revelation, looking at the past. It kind of makes sense to them of why the conflict was there within that connection, because both parties came into it because they were healing. Both parties have come full 360, and now a judgment is required. They also are seeing within this connection, the give and take isn't there, but there's lack of motivation. There's lack of motivation in it. It's funny. It's almost like I'm seeing this thread, and this thread is almost like a tiny slither of a cord. And the cord was the last thing that was keeping them there. And it might have been their value systems, you know, it might have been their faith. And when I say faith, it can be spiritual faith. It might have been finances as well. And it's like it's just not enough. It feels as though it's their cage now. They also feel that this is not going to have a good outcome. And the one thing that they're, you know, it might, like I said, the only thing tying it at the moment is maybe a home, maybe a bit of finances, and a value system. But again, it's the fear of being lonely, not necessarily being happy, as above, as below. But I'm not seeing, you know, there's two pockets here relating to the karmics that are very empathetic, understanding. One group is very frustrated. They know they're waiting for that money to tie up. The other, it's very codependent. It's very, yes, it has been manipulative. They also know at some point this is going to go. So they know that they're delaying the inevitable, that the two values within this connection are not matching. The other pocket, I feel it's almost like two parties living in a home. You know, it was maybe because they had children together, sleeping in separate bedrooms. Remember, the Citroen has come through for divine masculine, and this is their power, this is their energy, this is their passion and their light. And the karmic is seeing that that is not there with them, that the energy is not given. This can be avoidance of the person. It might be, again, sleeping in separate rooms, ins and out. I see the group that is very much living in the house but not together. This has, for both parties now, been a huge wake-up call, because now they've really outgrown it and it's not working. Okay, what do we need to know for the week moving into October? And then I'll answer some super chats. I think this is going to be very interesting. I'm kind of getting the feeling that this is the dying down of it. If it was to get aggressive, I'll put a heart of the, okay, any warnings relating to the karmic path with ascension. I just want to make sure, and I might pull a chakra card as well, so that if you are getting those downloads, you're in awareness of it. Yeah, you're going to feel it. Okay, this can be also, I feel the divine masculine is getting the demeanor from divine feminine, that you don't want mess. You don't want mess and drama. It's almost, I'm hearing the term clean shop. Please clean shop. I feel they're investing also in their emotions. I've got the Queen of Swords. They're investing in their emotions, and they're becoming very independent. They're becoming quite detached. But they're also, you know, they had hoped that the karmic was going to get there, and the karmic really hasn't. Not for all, obviously. Okay, what is the warning for divine feminine relating to ascension through divine masculine's path? You can hear something, but again, your intuition, you're going to feel it. Mercury's, you know, it can be feelings as well. But I do think that you guys are going to be vocal, but I kind of get this vibration that if, say, you're socializing with divine masculine, you could come to a space that, how do I put it, that you're actually feeling as though you have already talked about these things, that you have already felt as though The dynamics need to change. You've expressed what would need to happen. And I'm hearing the term white noise. So this poker face energy of what's been going on, it's almost like the masculine has the map of what they need to do, but they're also choosing it for themselves. They're also going to speak to you. But if you guys are friends and you are socializing with these individuals and you're aware they're in a karmic path, and it's civil, so to speak, if their demeanor is getting agitated, it is because this is imploding. Okay, for the next week, moving into October, 4 twins. Oh, magician. Be careful what you're manifesting, guys. Your power's coming back. This can bring a change of plans, and it can be quite sudden. I do get a lot of communication coming in. The Emperor is showing up. That's good. We got the Emperor. We got the Emperor. Members for 9 months, members only. YouTube's coming up with all these new things. The beautiful thing is, okay, there's going to be a sudden change. I do feel divine masculine is owning their power. I see the communication coming through, and they're in the energy of the Emperor, right? You figured it out. Mercury. Okay, you guys might get to a place where you're going, oh my God, can I trust this? Because it's going to be a different demeanor. You're probably going to freak out. But I also feel moving into the Magician and the Emperor, I do feel, I'm going to pull a clarifier on this because I'm kind of sensing that this is to do with the severing of a tie with a situation. This could be a workplace. It could be a karmic cycle. It could be directly a memory and healing, or the karmic. But I'm sensing, yeah, one journey's come to an end. It's like, okay, later, we're done. I feel they're tackling it. You guys are dags. I feel that they're, and then everyone's going to go, what are you talking about? If you need to know what we're talking about, it's in the chat at the side of the window. They're playing with the moderator section. Just an FYI, so I'm not talking to the screen randomly later and everyone's looking at me going, what are you talking about, YILDIZ? Yeah, it's a journey that's come to an end. It's come to an end. Now the strength, we've got the strength card. You know, we'll have to do some in the dark tarot at some point. I'll have to chuck that in the members because it gets really comical and naughty and I just can't do it out here. It's just too funny. It ends up being through the super chats that way. We get the Tower card and we get, you know, other things. Okay. Do you want me to ask if it's safe? Is this safe? Why do I pick the sacral chakra? You guys are going to be going, look, I love you. Beautiful, lovely. Wish you were here. You know, it's a bit like French kiss with the cheese. Lactose intolerance. You know, you want it to be right. You want it to be right. You don't want to get that aftermath of the, you know, the acid with the cheese. It's asking you, please bloody take a leap of faith. Oh, my God. What's this song? Marky Mark. Are you serious? Good Vibration. Is that MC and the Music Factory? Where the hell did that come from? I'm hearing Good Vibration. Go research the song. Classic song. See, Mercury retrograde. It's asking you to take a leap of faith. It's saying jump in. Just jump in. You want that new beginning? Number 1, manifest it. Number 2, again, your shadow is, if they come in and you're like, I want to be with this person, and then they come in and you're kind of like, but are we getting married tomorrow? Can you assure me, sign on this dotted line? If you want to take your time, guys, take your time. That's 100. But go and take your time. Don't sit on the sideline and go, but what if this and that happens? You, on your masculine side, do have control. You've got control of the passion. You've got control of yes and no's. you can go and view it. Mercury retrograde is in a Venus house. Yes, there can be communication with love. Is it a bad time? No, it's a great time to have that communication. Yes, you can be more heated with the emotions, but you know what's coming out again astrologically. We can know the transits, right? If it was incorrect, why would Gaia resolve it and sort it that way? It's because these things have their natural equilibrium, like Mother Nature. Just trust it. Just trust it. Energy check-in, please. Oh, yeah, I know. Oh. Yeah, congratulations on me as well. Getting there. Get how many years? 18 years almost. Yes, she is mine. Yeah, so we're having a good laugh about it. We've given her a bit of a nickname. She doesn't like me talking about it. We've given her a bit of a nickname. There was a comment on her report at one stage, and it was with a certain subject. She sometimes does this, and she sometimes does that. So we've called her sometimes, and we said we're going to embarrass her at her ceremony. We're going to be like, Shanice, sometimes. I'm a mean mum. I'm mean. Let's have a look. Let me clear the deck and I can have some room to do your reads. I'm just sensing that something's going down. It's going down. That's all I can say. It feels very... I think both parties are frustrated how long it's going. I do think the ones that weren't in a karmic relationship are reflecting back on the past, and it's giving them closure and healing. It's making more sense, if that makes sense. Okay, so who's the first bee? We have energetic shit. Emma, how you doing, doll? Are you a bit better? Yeah. Marky Mark and MC and the Music Factory. Didn't they do a collab? Good vibration. You know, that dance, man, it's classic. You know? It's good vibrations, which is, that's a positive thing, right? Number one, he was hot. Let's just say it. Yeah. 100. Mm-hmm. It probably is because it's Mercury retrograde. And because I'm psychic, I bounce it off. I'm sorry, the funky bunch. That's it. Okay, you are going to get back into balance, Emma. It is Emma, isn't it? Yeah, Emma. Okay, are you coming to a renegotiation with anything? Are you dealing with a renegotiation or, you know, getting back into balance? Are you looking at your health and your emotions? I think it's almost that you're getting into a more stable place, right? But you're also having blind faith. Everything happens for a reason. I feel when it does come down to balance, you have to reset. It keeps glitching on your end. Is it glitching on anyone else's end? Not that I can do anything. We're in the stream now. I'm hoping it's not. I'll keep that there. Is Emma back yet? Who was the next person? Giggle. Oh, Giggle. Okay, it is. It is Mercury retrograde, guys. This is going to happen to all of us. Yesterday we had the power go out, and even the internet went out, and like even the telephone lines went down. Yeah, here we go, Giggle. Okay, so for Emma, there is balance. I would say with your twin flame, they're going to become more balanced. Their health can get back on track. I also feel there could be a conversation relating to Venus energies. It could be diet, health, nutrition. And I'm also feeling the balance within the connection can come back. So, Giggle, Let's see, gal. Okay, what's going down on their side? Bad luck, okay? They're realizing that, yeah, it's like really planting seeds in unfertile ground. Having the courage to actually call it what it is and having to walk away from an old situation. I think that I really feel over the last 3 weeks, it's just been really affecting their health. It hasn't, they've really backed off. They've really felt quite agitated. They've been really, really in that lack mentality. But it's been taxing, but it needed to be taxing for them so that they could actually delete that. Okay. So I'm seeing that this stress level is a closing of it. I do get this feeling that when you do hear from them, at the moment, how they're coming through, yeah, they when you do actually hear from them, the reason you're not hearing at the minute is because they're just really reflecting, right? No, I asked about karmic. So with the karmic, that is being let go of. They're upgrading, but they've had to create a healthy boundary with that other individual. They also know that was where the unhappiness was coming from. Are they tempted? Are they thinking about you a lot? 100%. There's lots of temptation here. They can't stop thinking about you, but they're trying to come correct. And so they're waiting to undergo this change so that they come correct. Yeah, my lives go for a few hours. I'm not that lucky. Okay, so yeah, no, they're wanting to reconcile with you. There is chemistry. There has been a lot of crap. So if you do go through ascension and you find that in the next week, I don't feel it's that long ago, honestly. If you're going through a dip in the road, you're going to feel it. It feels like a dip in the road. I'm telling you, you'll probably message me and tell me it feels like that's when it's moving. Really? When did that happen? I didn't know that. Heck. Okay, who's B's next? Who is next? Oh, another thing. A big shout out to the Leo King. My deepest love and condolences. He lost his father most recently. So all my love to him and his family. Very sad to hear. Yes. Anniversary of my father come up. Anniversary of my twin's mother come up. Yep. September. Oh, his name was Mark. Yeah. Research clue. What do you want to know, Slate? Ooh. Are you considering what zodiac are you? This is a tricky energy coming through. You're like a deer in the woods looking out and you're not making any moves. That's how it's coming through to me. But it's like I wouldn't say you're depleted. I'd say you're being really logical. Okay, you're getting to a point. This could be a big judgment that you're needing to make in your life, and you don't know what steps to take. But you also can be feeling this is for you. All right. So research clue. It's you getting to a point that you want to make a realistic decision, but the way my guides are showing me, it's a little bit like you're watching everything. You're watching and you're looking. You're not making any move at the moment. And it's not just relating to love. This is relating to a few areas in your life. And that may be the hold up, is that you need to make some decisions but you're not really knowing what's worth it right now. You know, you're kind of like, I don't want to make a move because I don't want to make an incorrect move. Now, yes, it can be through fatigue. It can be because your values are changing. Gemini, there you go. It's getting harder at the end of the transit, Dull, and that's due to the fact that we're ending the nodes. You're already going to start feeling those eclipse energies. I'll be perfectly honest with all of you. We're also needing to pay close attention to the Taurus placements, because the Taurus placements are going to be in the North Node next year. So if you're finding suddenly huge themes with your Taurus placements in your chart coming up, we're in two worlds now. We're in two realms. We're halfway in this one, you know, really from the conjunction and ending all of this crap, and we're in the second phase of it, but we're in the middle portal and we are over the other side. So naturally for Geminis and Sagittarius, it's going to be a hard pocket for you guys, but Taurus and Scorpio, things are going to start coming up. That's because of the new nodes coming through. So your lives are being molded and shaped. For you guys, if you have had a real crappy time with connections and relationships, it's doing a 360. Especially for Scorpios and Taurus. Yours, you know, all of us, where we had that Sagittarius placement, there were delays. Now it's coming. It's like, oh, that's coming back. What's going on now? It's now you can use that South Node placement and the North Node placement. So understand that you have the balance. You are a worthwhile investment. You will, yes, during the phase of the 1st and the 7th house, which is what you've gone through as a Gemini. Sagittarius has gone through it too. It can feel like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. Is this ever going to get any better? Yes, it is. There is a lot of learnings through the 1st and the 7th house, and you will deeply value it later, and it's going to be successful. So your success between now and next year will be there, especially relating to love and contract style. So trust what you've gone through wasn't in vain. It's helped you get to know yourself, separate to another energy, but internally as well, with you and another person being accountable, with you in mind of how you relate to these things. Does that make sense? So it's natural what you're going through. It's a transitional phase through a portal. It will feel different after. I hope that helps. I was going to flick up like a mobile phone, and it's like, Yildiz, you're on the computer. Lord. This is so funny. Okay. We had Emma giggle. Cha, I missed you. No? Research clue. But you're feeling it, right? Did I jump people? No. Okay, so after you is Cosmic Journey. Is it Cosmic Journey or Char? My bad. Char. Okay. It's coming through pretty strong. Why am I getting this vibe, Char? You're almost like, you best be coming correct. You best be coming correct. Cool. I'm kind of getting a feeling that you're trying to be rational and understanding, but it's funny. I'm getting this vision of this person with it's strange, you know, when I channel people, I will get their vibration. I'll see their face at times. I'll see their demeanor of how they're coming through. He's dressing schmick, I can tell you that. Oh, dull. Yeah, so there's sort of this demeanor that their shoulders are broader, which means, and, you know, that came through for Giggles Twin as well. And I think with certain pockets of masculines at the moment, this chakra, this power, they're coming back, they're coming home to self. So they're more going to be able to tackle the drama in a more effective way. But it's more in their masculinity with clarity of mind. So nobody can pull a wool over their eyes. They're like, I've looked at, I'm understanding, but, you know, and this is where I feel with masculine's emotions, when we look to the yin and yang, they're going to be fair and understanding, but if they're crossed too many times, it can be cutting. And that's the polarity of Libra in Mars. I'll be understanding and just, but if you keep crying wolf, and this is what they've dealt with on their side of the fence, to see your side of the fence polarity, they're very direct now. They're very, and this is where they get success, is, you know, you'd never go into a negotiation and go, I kind of feel I might be able to generate $1 million for you. I think I can. You go, well, can you give me the data? What are you selling me here? So it's not a very strong, you know, kind of negotiation. I kind of see that person with their shoulders a lot broader, Char, and I feel it's more in their masculine element. Be careful what you've asked for, because it's on its way. It might, you know when you get nervous when a person's in their empowerment and they're like, I'm not coming with mess, I'm actually coming with conversation and movement. And you're like, am I ready for that movement? The aura is different. I'll pull a chakra card. I'm feeling the aura is different. So you put it out to the universe, right? And sometimes we can get super cocky, be like, I'm ready, right? And then that person comes in and you're like, oh, hi. That's how I'm feeling. That's you're like, oh, you know, when you first met them, you're like, I'm in trouble. Yep. What was that song? Taylor Swift. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. Yeah. Deja vu. Yeah. It's kind of that feeling, but in a good way. And it's now, are you cleared enough? Are you sure? Are you open? Because they're like, no ifs, buts about it. They know. Yeah. Are you cleared enough? Oh, Lord. Love it. Okay, who do we have next? I'm away with the fairies. Is it Alice in Wonderland? You got love on your mind, because the first thing I was tuning into was love. Cosmic. Thanks. Love, 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 love. You know, this, I know you're a Scorpio. Okay, I see you, girl. My Venus is in Scorpio. Oh, my next year is going to be interesting. I've got my North Node in Scorpio. I'm going to be having a nodal reversal. My Venus is in Scorpio. Yeah. Okay, for you at this point in time, it's a left and a right. For Scorpions, collectively, it's a left or right, especially moving into the month of October. The confusion that can come through. Relationships are hot to trot next year. Your contracts are hot to trot. Now, initially, when we have the North Node in Taurus, it's not that it goes, it's not we're successful at that. We're not very good at that, right? Yeah, we're not very good at that. Yeah, I'm reading Alice. Well, who's the Scorpio? Well, Scorpio technically is in Venus at the moment. Okay. The wounds are coming up, but that's where next year you've got to be careful about when we go from the first, you're going to go through what the beautiful went through Gemini. And I was talking about the 1st and the 7th house. When Twin and I broke up, it was the 1st and the 7th house. And I had come to a point through my awakening. I'd really learned about who I was, right? You get things moving, things are looking quite good, things can go, if you can survive through a north and south node and you can do your clearing work without too much attachment, you're great. You're great. If you can't, and it just depends. It's not bad or good. It's just in that shift, you're more than likely will have some hurdles with the 1st and the 7th house. But because you're moving towards the north node, it's that you're reaching out. You're focusing on your career. You're focusing on your friendship groups. You're building those networks. But they're changeable and allowing them to be changeable. You are healing through connections, but be careful of putting pressure on that, okay? Be careful of the pressure. You at the moment, especially through the transit, you need to be very careful because Aries, Mars is in Aries. You are also very Mars in nature. So the passion and the heat can come and then it can go down. Plus Venus is in Scorpio. So people are going to be finding you deeply attractive. You guys can be really, really reflective at the moment. And I'm saying for you, Alice, it's like these wounds are coming up. There's a little bit of fear coming up relating to love. There's then excitement and it's jumping back and forward. There is healing, right? But there is also a wound that needs fixing. But crossness can come up also. This could also affect your health with the Mars transit. You guys need to be very cautious of stress. Okay, how are they feeling towards you? They're very driven at the moment. They want you to be successful. They know that you have big goals. They think you worry about the trying to be everything. You're concerned about your position. But they can see this stress building in you. They can see this stress dynamic kind of occurring. Was there a conversation that happened this week that gave them some confusion and crosswise? Because I'm seeing some crosswise, Alice. It feels like maybe it came through a little bit, relating to maybe a third party, that there was a little bit of confusion with that. There was a little bit of, they're reading in between the lines and they're kind of sensing something. Like they know the connection's there. But it's the demeanor of something that was said that they're making reference to. Okay? I hope that makes sense. It's like they're picking that there is a vibration to do with the person that is in their life and you're feeling a certain way about it. And it's, yeah, they're picking up on it. Yeah, it feels like they're feeling that there's chemistry between you, that there's also, well, what would need to happen in order to be together, but it's the card of jealousy, okay? Passion and jealousy. Passion and jealousy. Who was next? Was there anyone else? Did I get everyone? Hi, Andrew. Yeah, I had to come early today because it's my daughter's graduation. She announced it at the last minute. Went, oh, by the way, it's at 9. I was like, what? How am I going to do my live? So, yes, be careful at the minute with anger. What zodiacs do we have in the house? We're ending this year with a bang, I'm telling you. I'm going to have to do, I'm going to sit and record a video relating to 2022 and, some of I'm going to journal them down and do the predictions I've got. Emmy doll. It's coming through for you. Virgo. Are you down in me, doll? I'm not really feeling it. Yeah, maybe. Have you hit a dip in the road again, girl? What's going on? It makes sense. You got Libra there, right? It makes sense. Angel numbers coming through thick and fast lately. What are you searching for, Andrew? Do you know there's a point in our twin flame path and through the awakening that initially we'll see number synchronicities, right? When you're really awoken the third eye, you are the numbers. So you're like, right, I need to do this. It's reactive energy. It's like, right, I'll do this, I'll do that. Then there's other times they slow down, and it's because you've actually alchemized the numbers inside of yourself. What numbers are you seeing? Is Emmy Doll in the house? Because Emmy Doll, I'm reading your cards, doll. Emmy Doll, I am seeing that there is tension here. I am seeing that you're in the Queen of Swords energy. Look, you know, you're going left and right, but at the same time, you go, oh, okay. So are you kind of freaking out? You're like, what if something happens? What if this happens? Left or right, or left or right? Well, it's going to give you your independence back. We'll give you that. But we privately know what that's about. So don't get up in your head too much, doll. Don't think too much. I do think you've been thinking about your twin. I do feel it's almost like, why do I have to do everything alone? Like, you know, it's like in one breath you want them there, but in the other breath you're like, no, I don't want them to know. No. It's funny because the Queen of Swords actually has swords. Now Mars is metal, right? It's in the house of Venus. You're getting beautified. Okay, where is your twin at? Why am I getting the analogy that you are feeling as though they're kind of like grandpa? What? It's like, are you being more playful than they are and nothing you're doing is working and you're thinking it's not working? It's like you're kind of coming through like, is this person awake? You know, are they awake? Yeah, you can see the nervousness through your cards, Emmy Doll. It's like, you know, you're like, oh my God, you know, thank God this is coming. What if something goes wrong? But you're going to it's going to center your life back again, doll. So it's giving you something, but you're going through an emotional upheaval and a spiritual one as well as physical. Your twin is coming through almost like, you know, this playful energy you had over the last few weeks is kind of, it's hit that pothole, but it's because you're going through that transitional stage. You're kind of looking at them like thinking back, you're reflecting back, right? And because something that you did could be a photo you sent, because I know you, right? A photo you sent, you're kind of looking at like, well, why didn't it do anything? I don't get it. Are they not seeing the benefit in me? But they are. It's just they're reacting a little bit, what would I say? It's like they're trying to behave. They're trying to behave. I kind of get the feeling that both of you were really tired. Both of you are saying you're getting too old for this BS. But you are mirroring each other. It is working. You're just thinking, God, well, what do I have to send you, right? You don't need to do anything because it's already worked. Okay. Thanks, Giggle. Leo next. How you doing, girl? Let's have a look. You're tired. Yeah, I felt tired yesterday. Out of nowhere again. I'm agitated too. Yes, there was agitation yesterday. You got all these plans coming up. It's like I feel your mind is going at 100 miles an hour. I sense it's like you're trying to plan. You're trying to look at different things that you're wanting to implement and do. And it feels exciting, but you're burning your mind out. You're trying to correct contracts. You're trying to correct your work, your love. You're thinking on a lot of things, and it's burning you out. And this is normal with this transit, okay? So it's like, and it's like we're becoming fried, so to speak. I think it's to bring all the balance back, but it's also initially through this transit, we'll see the imbalance to show us the shadow of the reality, the Neptune, the distorted reality, to then go, okay, something's got to give. And that's happening on masculine and feminine side. So with all the loose ends and the sudden revelations, it's like, wow, I've been MIA while I've been healing, and all this bedlam fell down, and, there's a cup over there I've got to clean, and I've got to do the paperwork over there. It's like that's back to the awakening, right? So you're trying to deal with all these things. You could even get to a space that while you're going through that bedlam, you're thinking, okay, well, do I have time? Would it be easier right now? I got 99 problems. As soon as you're ushered in that awakening to do such, you end up getting to a space that, because you're not focusing on the masculine, this is where the masculine comes in. Yeah, well, Libra is all to do with the, the balance. Where are the cups? Where do I find the who took the last towel? I know it was you. Don't mess with me. I told you I had an appointment today. It's a bit of a tense time, to say the least. Leo next, I honestly see some really great things for you. Dale, you're doing fine. Yeah, keep focusing your energy back on yourself. I think divine feminines, that's really the thing right now. It's like if there's 99 things coming at you, it's balancing out, but it's like that awakening is actually making you excited about the possibilities. But excited about the possibilities, tying up the loose ends really quickly. Oh my gosh, yes, this could be great, but you're tired at the same time. You've got to look, love is coming. You ain't going to be left on the shelf. That's the reality. It's come up twice. Love is coming. You focus on that of what you love. Yes, obviously you love your twin, but also know that love is, I kept saying love hearts for weeks and weeks. Love is all around us. Even the reasons why karmics do what they do, it's a place of their value of love. Even the reason why a mother tells a child, I don't want you to touch the stove, is out of love. It's just different languages of love, but you're going to receive love. Love is here. So don't forget to focus on the other elements of your life with the cups, that they're as relevant as well. But I think at the moment you're kind of like, oh, God, if masculine turned up right now, I've got all this crap going on. And 5, I've got an appointment, and it's not through not wanting to. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. A lot of mirroring going on. Both of you are ready for it. Both of you are maybe fed up with family situations. Being in balance, life being in balance, transitional phases, things coming at you. But I do feel overall this is a very positive energy. An update on my soulmate since our last reading and communication, please. Yeah. Do you feel stuck? I feel there's a stuck energy. I feel you have, Sophia, a way you feel this needs to go. But this could be the other individual. You could be finding that they're what would the word be? Stuck. Is this in a proverbial location or a situation? But the viewpoint of what you're tuning into with this can really change the outcome. So with this individual, if you are feeling he is stuck, in what polarity in the matrix are you thinking that that person is stuck? Because this can be a key to unlocking your twin flame path, doll. It's part of the healing. That's why. Now, there's something that you physically feel they're stuck. Do you feel it's in a situation? Is it a 3D, like, connect? In what polarity, Sophia, do you feel it's stuck? That's okay, Leonix. Thank you for your donations, guys. Okay, I shall be going after this last super chat because I have to get ready for my daughter's graduation. Go and embarrass her. Expressing emotions. Well, say we can change that, but if we tune into it, do we feel we can't articulate our feelings? Both parties aren't going to express it in the same way. Would it give you more certainty, in that kind of paradigm? At the moment, due to the fact we have the transit through Pisces, you will find that the masculines automatically won't be too expressive because they're internalizing things. As it moves towards the new moon in Libra, this is where they will be looking at their emotions, at their expression. It can be that people at the moment are going to be expressing their emotions through their communication, and that can be lower octane, higher octane. As we move into mid-October, this is where we're ironing the creases out, and it can get better at doing such. Thanks, Andrew. But I do feel these wounds within the connection are going to come up. But it's frustrating to you. It's almost like, how do I put it? It's like when somebody has something on the edge of their lips and they're not expressing how they feel. It's like, and you can just openly say such to individuals that relate that way and say, look, I don't want to presume, is it X, Y, and Z, or is it A, B, C, D? And then they can pick their poison. And then you go, okay, then fair enough. But sometimes it's it's re-looking at that in a different way. I would say also, if it's frustrating you, don't give it energy. And then if you're communicating with anyone that is displaying that vibration, if you have always been the one to presume, assume, when you stop doing that, that person may initially get frustrated because you're not doing it for them. But then you can then counterstate and say, but it's not my job to speak for you. It's not my job to, I'm not, and it's almost like, okay, so my intuition in order to have a conversation with you needs to be that you intuitively know how to read this person. I'll say that. But I think it's the devil in the detail that's coming through to you. It's like you hiding something from me. And that's a wound from a previous situation. You can trust your intuition, but just if you feel they're not saying anything, if you need to say something, you can come straight out and say it. Does that make sense? It also can be from previous relationships. The wound is there. But that's what's coming through for you, my love. That's where they're at. Yeah, but I think it's due to a wound of a previous connection or a previous situationship that hurt them, but it's something past. Yeah, okay? That's okay. They are going to get over it. It's just, it's a way, it's just, if you're directly in communication, speak directly to that person and go, okay, I'm sensing X, Y, and Z. What's the deal? What's the diddly-o? If you're tuning into it from the 5D spiritual point of view, you can relate to it differently. But it can be the paranoia that something is hidden. And this person also, due to their experiences, has had paranoia due to, it's almost like we are sensory energies and we've had to navigate through very toxic situations. So we create these, it's from the ego and the pain body experience, we create devices and ways in which we relate to it to protect ourselves. That's what's happened with this individual. So to break that pattern, don't relate to them in the same way. Say if there would naturally be a fight and there would be an outburst and you're showing them that fallacy in their conditioning on that previous scenario isn't going to happen with you. So it desensitizes the wound. And it builds the confidence in communication as well. Love and light. Take care. I hope these messages that came through for you guys are helpful moving into October. Keep aware of your surroundings. I wouldn't go to big concerts or anything like that at the moment. And if you are, pay attention to your surroundings. If you're walking in the evening, be aware of your surroundings, because the Scorpio placement's there and Mars and Libra is there. You just want to, just at the moment, moving through, be really very, very mindful of your environment. Love and light. Take care, and I'll see you later. Thank you, moderators. I appreciate you all.